Hello guys, my name is Engineer Holiday. I want to solve this problem and I want you to listen as we go. This one says, under this question I want to solve for this section is prism, triangular prism. It said a glass material of refractive index 1.70 is used to construct a prism such that the angle of minimum deviation is equal to the apex angle of the prism. Calculate the apex angle. Now, for this prism, for this kind of prism, which is sine dm plus a over 2 divided by what? Sine a over 2. So in that now this minimum deviation is dm, where a is the apex angle, or we call the refracting angle of the prism. Now, if you agree with me now, let's say the dm equal to a. dm equal to a. That means the minimum deviation is equal to the apex angle of the prism. So in place of a, dm, I'll put a, since we are looking for apex angle. So I will now have it as what? That implies that what? N equals to what? Sine a plus a divided by 2, all divided by what? A over 2. So since we now have our a over 2, then what we are going to have now is that a plus a is 2a, then 2a multiply divide by 2, we are going to have a. N equals to what? Sine a divided by sine a over 2. Now recall that sine a is same as what? Sine a over 2 plus a over 2. Let's say one, and from trig, sine a o plus b is equal to what? Sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. That is from trig knowledge. So if you agree, therefore this one now becomes what? Sine a over 2 cos a over 2 plus cos a over 2 sine a over 2. If you add it together, you are going to have what? 2, because they are the same. It's not like this one that you have a different from b. You have sine a over 2 cos a over 2 under multiple angle, or under what they call the compound angle. So what we do now is just input the value of what this one is now sine a. Therefore, let us substitute into that word, or replace sine a with 2 sine a over 2 cos a over 2 divided by what? Sine a over 2. So this one eliminates this. We are going to have it as what? Cos a over 2 is equals to times 2 here equal to n. Now remember that our n is 1.7 equal to 2 cos a over 2. Now what we do now is divide both sides by 2. That means we have 1.7 divided by 2 is equals to cos a over 2. Then after which, take the cos to the other side, we have cos inverse of what? 1.7 over 2 equals to what? A over 2. So what do we have now? 1.7 divided by 2. Then you have cos inverse of that of 17 over 20. You have 31.7. Now, I'm now getting 31.7 as your A over 2. What do we do to get a final answer? What I want to do now to get our final answer is simply what? Multiply it by 2. So therefore, that means cross multiply. So I have A equal to what? 2 times 31.7. So what do we have here? We are going to have it as 1 times 2 We have 63.576, which approximately what? 63.58. So that's the first answer for that question. Number two, a glass prism of refracting angle 60 degree. Refracting angle, don't forget, is also known as the apex angle, and the refractive index is equal to n equal to 1.53 is in mass in a certain liquid of refractive index 1.42. Calculate the angle of minimum deviation parallel to the prism in a given experiment. Now, if N1 is in mass in N2, it becomes what? The refractive index becomes what? N1 over N2. So that means N1 over N2 equal to sine dm plus a over 2 divided by sine a over 2. Now, having done that now, what do we have now? The refracting angle is 60. 60, we have what? N1 in mass in M2, 1.53 divided by 1.42, because N1 is 1.53, N2 is 1.42. So we'll play with it. You are going to have sine dm plus 60. Don't forget your apex angle is equal to 60 degree. 60 degree divided by 2, or what? Sine 60 divided by 2. So what do we have? I'm going to have what? 1.53 divided by 1.42. So I'm going to have it as 1.077464. Is equals to what? Sine dm minimum deviation divided by 6 divided by 2. Let me see it up. Divide by what? Sine 30. So what I want to do is to cross multiply simply. So cross multiply. What do you have? Our sine dm plus 60 over 2 is equals to what? 1.077464789. Why I write it like that? Because some question we carry none of the above in some schools. So what you just need to do is to what? Ensure you use the exact value. Don't approximate, because approximation will always lead to error. So times sine 30 degree. So times sine 30 degree. So what I want to have is what? Is 0.5387323. So now equal to sine dm plus 60 degree divided by 2. So what I want to do is to take sine inverse of the, I would have dm plus 60 divided by 2 equal to sine inverse of the result we've had, 732. So I want to have it as 32.597. Now, having gotten that now, what I want to do now is, after we have gotten our value, is for us to find dm plus 60 over 2, cross multiply. So we have dm plus 60 equals to what? 2 times, what is 2 times? We have 2 times 32.597. That was 65.194 equal to gm plus 60. So how do we get gm? Gm becomes what? 65.194 minus 60. So remove it from 60. So I would have 5.194, which approximately can be 5 degrees. So that should be our answer. You can have it, or you can have it as 5.2 degree. So please take note of that. Let's go to the next question. Question 3. A prism of refracting angle and a material of refractive index 1.64 held with its refracting angle downward alongside another refracting angle downward. This refracting angle downward is 8 degrees. Permit me to use that. This is 1.64. Alongside another prism of angle 6 degree, that means refracting index 6 degree, which has a refracting angle, this is apex angle, and which has a refractive angle pointing downward. So this is what 6 degree, pointing upward, 6 degree. Now, what do we say we should find? Now, the question says that which has a refracting what? Angle upward. That is what we have done. Say a narrow what ray or parallel beam passes through both prisms and is observed to emerge parallel to its original direction. That is to say, if you what produce an incident ray, it will come out like that with an emergent parallel, parallel to its original direction. This original direction parallel, that means the deviation, the angular deviation is 0. So the deviation of 1 is equal to deviation of 2. That's what it means. This is 1 and this is 2. So deviation of 1 is equal to 2. For it to emerge parallel, that means non-deviated. So angular deviation is equal to 0. So that means if angular deviation is equal to 0, it means n1 minus 1 times a1 minus n2 minus 1 times a2 is equal to 0. So therefore, we can have it as n1 minus 1 times a1 equal to what? N2 minus 1 times a2 equal to times a2. All of them are equal. Now, because what? The incident ray is equal to what? Emergent ray without what? Deviation. So what do we have? N1 is what? 1.64. Apex angle 1 is 8.0 degrees. That is small angle. N2 is unknown. Apex angle 2 is 6 degrees. So what I want to do is what? 1.64 minus 1 times what? 8 equals to 1 N2 unknown times what? 6. So I want to have it as what? 1.64 minus 1 is what? 0.64. 0.64 times 8 will give us 5.13 equal to n2 is 6n2 minus 6. So we are going to have 5.13 equal to 6n2 minus 6. So what I want to do next now is to make what? N2 the subject of formula. And in trying to make N2 subject of formula, collect like this. I would have 5.13 plus 6 equal to 6n2. So n2 becomes what? 5.13 plus 6 divided by 6. So what will be our final answer? Plus 6 divided by 6. So I would have 1.853. 853. So if you see it as 1.85 in the option, you are correct. But if you now see it's 1.86, this is not correct. There's no two ways about it. Now let's go to questions 4. Question 4 says that if the refractive index of a glass of refracting angle is 6 degree. So refracting angle is 6 degree. Is 1 point what? 55 and 1.52 for blue and red light respectively. Determine the angular what of dispersion produced by the what. So that means change in D be equal to, so this is the formula for angular dispersion. Now, having known the formula where this is what the angular what dispersion, I can use rho for that. So differentiate it from angular what deviation. Well, it's same thing, but for the same symbol I use, let me just use another symbol so that so A is equal to what? The refracting angle, and B is what? The refractive index of blue light. This one is what? Refractive index of red light. Then this rho is what? Is the what? Angular dispersion. So to get rho, you now have what? A is given as what? 6 degree. This one is unknown. This one is about 1.52. While this one is given as what? I think this 1.55. 1.55. While this one is 1.52. So in that case, we are going to use our formula. We are going to have 6 equal to 1.55 minus 1.52. So press your calculator to get your final answer. So 1.55 minus 1.52 surely give us about 0.03 times 6 will give us 1.8 or 0.18 degree. So that will be our answer for that. Number 5. A ray of light passes through a prism of refracting angle 50 degree. A ray of light passes through prism of refracting angle A is equals to what? 50 degree. The angle of incidence in the first face of the glass is, that is to say, if I have a rough sketch like this, let's say this is 50, this is normal, this is angle of incidence is 30. Let's calculate angle. What is the angle of incidence in the second phase? Let's calculate the refraction here. So if you calculate the refraction, you can get it. So it's using n equal to sine I over sine r. Let's call this one the first phase. Phase 1 is I1, is R1. So what do we have now? 1.63 factive index equal to sine 30 divided by what? Sine R1. So what do we have? Sine R1 is equals to what? Sine 30 divided by what? 1.63. Divided by 1.63. So I'm going to have it as 0.3067484. Now, if you get that, then R1 becomes sine inverse of what? 0.3067484,663. Now what? That's what sine inverse. I like you to write all the answer. Can have exact value 863. So now if you have gotten that one, this is R1. Don't forget that it now what? Goes to the mirror and hits the mirror at an what? R2. So this R2 is what we are talking about. This is a fatty angle. So it will hit the mirror at this particular angle. Look at this angle here. So this angle is for angle at which it hits the mirror. You understand? So this one is now emerge like this. So this one is minimum deviation. So in that case, this is emergent. This is normal. 2 is phase 2. This phase 1 is normal to phase 1. So it's hitting the what? The phase 2 with R2. And R2 is unknown, but we know that A equal to R1 plus R2. So we are going to have it as what? 50 is equals to what? 17.863 plus R2. So R2 becomes what? 50 minus 17.863. Final answer. We are going to have 32.136, because that will be the incident in the second phase if the glass of the prism has refractive index of this. Number 6, which is sixth question, it says a certain prism was formed to produce a minimum deviation of this and produce a deviation of 63 for two values of angle of incidence I1 53 and I2 70 respectively. Calculate the refractive index of the material. Now, for us to calculate the refractive index of material, look at it. G equal to what? Deviation equal to I1 R1 plus I2 minus R2. This deviation formula that from a prism. You have a prism. So this particular one is what? Angle of incidence. So angle of incidence, we have what? The angle of refraction here, the normal will be drawn here, then come out. So this particular one here, R1 plus R2 equal to A. So in that case, this one now will extend to produce a deviation. And here is now the I minus R, I1 minus R1 to get this particular point, because everything here is I, and for parties I and R1. So here will now be I minus R1. This other place also will be what? I2 minus R2. This I2. Now, Having not understand that now, what we want to do now is to what? To solve for what? The refractive index. And before we can do that, our D, which is equal to what? I1 plus I2 minus R1 minus R2, which is it as I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. And deviation is what? 63. So 63 equals to what? 53 plus 70 minus A. Because what? R1 plus R2 equal to A. Let's take note of that. Now, if you understand that now, what we want to do now is let us make A the subject of formula. So 63 equals to what? 153 plus 70 is 123 minus A. So A becomes what? 123 minus 63. And that will give us what? 60 degree. Now, after getting our A, you know that our N equal to what? Sine what? D minimum plus A over 2 divided by what? Sine what? Refracting angle over 2. That is our formula for minimum for refractive index, which is equal to sine. What is minimum deviation? 40 plus 60 divided by 2 or divided by what? Sine 60 divided by 2. So what do we have now? I'm going to have it as what? Sine 50, because 40 plus 60 is 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50 over sine 30. So our n will now be finally becomes what? Sine 50 divided by what? Sine 30. And that will give us what? 1.5332. So that is just that, approximately 1.53. Anyone you see, no unit, please, for that answer. Please ensure you get it and get it once and for all. We are in what is number 7 question, and we have to move very fast. We are in number 7. Say the difference between the refractive indices of carbon bisulfide for blue and red light is 0.48. The difference, okay, let's see, MB minus NC is equal to the refractive index. The difference between refractive index 48. Okay, okay. Now it is 48. See what? Okay, why the critical angle for red light at carbon disulfide S interface is 48. 1 over sine C for this is for red, this is for blue. So let's see this one for red. 1 over sine C for blue is equal to what? 0.48. Now, in this case now, we want to have it as what? 1 over sine C of blue minus, for that of red light is what? Giving us what? 1 over sine 49, the critical angle, equal to 0.48. Now, what I want to do now is to take it there. I would have 1 over sine C equal to what? 1 over sine 49 plus 0.48. So what do we have? 1 divided by what? Sine 49 plus 0.48. So this one is now give us 1.080501 is equal to 1 over sine CP. So in that case, we are going to have it as what? 1 over 1 plus multiply equal to sine CP. So 1 so we are going to have it as what? To get CP becomes what? Sine inverse of what? Then it takes sine to the other side of 1 over 1.80501. So whatever answer you get, just keep it. Take sine inverse of it. And that will give us what? 33.64. 33.64 degree. That's what I'm going to have as our final answer. So you can confirm it, do it over and over again. Make sure you do your work, your addition effectively. Because 1 divided by what? Sine 49 is what? Sine 49 is 1.325 plus 0.48, the difference. Because you are taking this one together, become plus now. So you know what? 1 divided by what? The answer. Then check what the sine inverse of whatever you have here. Because this one will give us this. Is what this answer. Now, the next one that we want to solve is what? Number 8. We have 2 more questions to go. 2 more questions to go. So what I want to do now is, they said, well, the ray of light is refracted through a prism at minimum deviation. If the angle of refraction in the glass at the first phase is 30. Now don't forget that if I have a what? This diagram like this. Now this deviation. Now at minimum deviation this R is equal to this R. So R1 equal to R2. R1 equal to R2. And they give us what this one has 30 degree. So R2 also give what? 30 degree. And remember that this one is a refracting angle or a Apes angle. And A is equal to what? R1 plus R2, which will now become R2R at what? Minimum what? Deviation. Also recall that at minimum deviation, I1 equal to I2. Incidence equal to emergent angle. Although there are 2 incidents, but we don't say this one is incident on the phase 2. Rather, we call it emergent angle. This is if incident on the phase 2 is R2, which we also call the refraction on the second phase. Now, so having done that, now what I want to do now is what? Since they are equal, we are looking for refracting angle A. So A becomes what? 30 plus 30 or 2 times 30, anyone you want to, is 60 degree. So our answer is 60. Number 9, which is the last question, it said, a certain prism of refracting angle 50 degree and refractive index 1.50 in a certain liquid of refractive is immersed in a certain liquid of refractive index Ni. So that means this one is immersed in Ni. So that means 1.50 over Ni is equal to sine Dm plus A over 2. Sine what? A over 2. Now, what is our Dm? Minimum deviation. Are we giving minimum deviation here? If the angle of minimum deviation of a parallel ray of light through the prism is 5, we are given excellent. We are also given the apex angle to be 50. Excellent. So it makes the work very easy. So we have sine 5 plus what? 50 divided by 2, or divided by sine 50 divided by 2 equal to what? 1.50 over ni. So what do we have? We want to have it as 55 divided by 2. That will give us 27.5. So sine 27.5 divided by what? 50 divided by 2, that is about 105 to degree. So when you divide what? Sine 27.5 and divide by sine 25. We want to have it as what? 1.09 what? 25903. So what? 1.50 over ni is equal to what? 1.09255903. We cross multiply. So what I would have is ni times 1.09255903 equals to what? 1.50. So the variables are 1.092590 1.09255903. This one will cancel this one. So ni equals to what? 1.5 divided by what? 1.09255903. I would have it as 1.3728 as our final answer. So if I want to write it, I can write it as 1.37. No unit. That is the refractive index where it was a mass, where the liquid, in a certain liquid, that was a mass in it. So thank you very much. This is what how to solve question on Prism. I think we have touched majority of the kind of question you can see in Prism analysis. Thank you. God bless you.